6 at once is the most I've had.
You know, that's
She'll be excited to know she was right.
When you go past, when you have that many 3D printers trade, that's not a hobby anymore. You realize that, right? Like,
yeah, it's not a hobby. I make money at it.
No, yeah. Trey has explained to me how his hobbies work. His hobbies work like this. He finds something he's interested in. He goes overboard on it and finds a way to make money out of it. And that's his hobbies.
I mean,
Yep.
You've sort of just summed up my Twitch and YouTube career. I mean... All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's episode 20. Yeah, let's go. The big 2-0 of On the Button. My name is Wes. I'm here with my buddies Ian and Trey, as we usually do, gather once in a while. What?
Buddies,
yeah. Trey, I've known you like a decade. I've known you like a decade.
That's true. I've known a lot of people a decade. I don't care for all of them.
Wow. All right, well, we can just hang this episode up. We're done. See you guys.
Fortunately, you're one that I do care for.
Oh, how sweet! I'm glad I rate somewhere on the list. You did offer me your football tickets not terribly long ago, so I figure I must not have
turned them down.
I did. I couldn't go. We were going to be out of town. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, guys, we're welcome back. It's On the Button. We're about a week off of our schedule because of the holidays, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us while we talk some Star Wars Unlimited. It has been a busy few weeks, right? PAX Unplugged came and went. We had the in-flight report. We'll talk about that later in the episode. They did yesterday. They did their first live stream talking through Lawless Time, which is weird because it feels like we just got this set, but we're a month in now, and so it's like, well, it's already time for spoiler season to begin. Like, spoiler season will begin within the next 4 weeks, right? Like, first of the year, it'll be hot and heavy.
Start it 4 weeks from now, not the 2 weeks after we get the new set.
So one of the things, weird interlude as we dive down the rabbit hole real quick here. But at one of the points, I was talking to Jack Brumel, right, new community manager, and one of the things he said was that he joined the team, I think towards the end, like right before Secrets of Power came out. I'm sorry, right before Legends of the Force came out back in July, and so he didn't have any time, chance, input, or whatever to impact the spoiler season that happened for this set. And of course, we saw it was kind of rough, right? Some of the stuff they put out early left people with the impression of what the hell's going on here. But I think I remember him saying to me at one point that he was working to put his own fingerprints and change the process of how they do spoilers going forward. So we'll see if that improves. Hopefully, I don't think it's done badly, but I think there's always room for improvements and things you can change. So we'll see how that goes. But I think, guys, I don't know about you. We got a lot of things to talk about, but the thing I want to talk about first, the thing that I think Trey and I are most excited for, and Ian, this is probably you were like, I don't know, what are y'all even talking about?
I have no idea. Like
so
none of this.
So during the in-flight report, they specifically mentioned there was an announcement coming soon about changes to booster packs. We have no other details. That's literally like the phrase they use. We're changing booster packs, and then they told us nothing else. And then when they announced the stream schedule, we don't know. When they announced the stream schedule, when they announced the stream schedule for December, they're doing a stream next Wednesday, lunchtime-ish, midday, like they do. And it's going to talk about the pack changes, whatever they're going to be. Okay.
So, I thought it was yesterday. I didn't realize they were splitting it up across multiple weeks. I got very excited yesterday when cards and stuff started coming out. But
no, yesterday was largely a rehash of what they showed at the in-flight report a couple weekends ago. But I'm curious, guys. Let's. I think everybody who plays Unlimited probably has their own thoughts about what they would do if it was their sole decision to change packs. Trey, I want to know, what would you do? What's your wish list? If you were going to change how booster packs are constructed, anything, what's your wish list look like?
So I have a similar. I'm not as high on it as everybody else is, because everybody else is hot and bothered to get the rare bases out of the rare slot, and I think that's a good thing. I think it should be out of the rare slot, but it's not as big a deal for me as is some other people.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing is that I think, and I've said this before, I think the regular foil cards were a mistake from the beginning, and they were only there to check a box to say that we have this, and I think it's a poor choice, and I want them to get rid of it. And I think that carbonite packs would be fine if you took half the foils, turned them into hyperspaces, and just made the pack smaller. Like if you made them have 9 card packs, and then that would make them much more expensive, and you just do all hyperspace. So I like that they have carbonite. I know one of the things, I think I know one of the things that you're going to say, so I'm not going to touch on that. But I don't want them. I want to get rid of the stupid foils. The foils that have black borders on them are just the absolute worst. So my wish list are 90% get rid of foils, 10% get rid of the foil. Figure out what to do with rare bases, because I don't think you get rid of rare bases entirely. But we were discussing it on Tuesday, and one of the things that you said was something about making them not starter specials and like putting them in this. I think that's neat.
They've done that. This
Oh.
next set.
When did? Okay, so that's what those are.
Yeah, so there is a rare base in each. They were talking about this on the stream that they did yesterday. There's not a rare base. There's a special, a starter deck base in each starter that is unique to that starter deck. So essentially, they're not rare bases, but you can only get them in the starter deck. I'm okay with that, right? That allows them to do unique, cool things without polluting my booster packs and ruining my draft experience, right?
Now, I like to say, you call them starter decks, Wes, but they're spotlight decks.
Spotlight decks, excuse me.
But I've seen them play out of the box, not too bad.
They're good,
to be honest.
No, they really
They're
are.
Not bad.
The guys,
the Padme one is pretty good, and the Palpatine one is actually very well put together. So,
I agree.
You could sit down and you could play at your locals, and you wouldn't have my first experience of just getting swamped because you built your own deck and you have no idea what you're doing, and you lose every game you play that night. You have a good time, right? The Spotlight, I watched James play the Spotlight deck with very little changes, and it was playing pretty well for him. So
I think that's one of the best changes that they made when they moved into the game's second year, right? Was getting away from the starter sets and going to these Spotlight decks. I think the Spotlight decks are an absolute win. They're very well designed. You're right. They're playable right out of the box. They're very good decks.
Right out of the box.
Yeah, they're very good decks.
So those are my wishes. I don't have too many. I like a lot of what they've done. I like the foil hyperspaces. I like that showcases exist. I think prestige is cool. I don't know that it's necessary, but I do think it's cool. And then just more hyperspaces and no foils.
Okay.
No regular foils. All right.
Okay.
What about you guys?
I want to hear what Ian thinks. Now, so you're kind of coming to this idea cold, right? So like you're kind of hearing this for the first time. What do you think? If you could change booster packs, what would you do?
They're going to change the packs. Like, this is like a foregone conclusion. First of all, I actually like the foil cards, but I understand why people hate them because they're unplayable. If you get deck checked, they're gone. They're always like a potato chip. So I understand why people don't like them. I think they look cool. I think I'm alone, clearly, based on your two faces.
No, I wasn't even responding. I'm not even looking at you. I'm responding to something else.
I'm looking directly at you. You are a moron. Okay. They look terrible.
I don't know. I like some of them, I guess. That's just me. So I'm definitely alone in that. Rare base-wise, I don't care. I mean, it sucks to pull it in a draft, but, like, some of them are great. Like, I got what are the gift packs? And I opened a JTL pack and got a data vault, and I was like, hell yeah! Like, that's like, if you get a good one, it feels like a good pull. So, I don't know. Like, I hope they change I have no idea. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I hope they guarantee more rares. I hope either they do one of two things. Like, in a standard booster pack, I'd like to see one of two things. Either give us 2 or more rares. That would be nice. And or give us extra uncommon cards, because they only give you 3 uncommon cards, and if you get an extra rare, you lose an uncommon card. So I'd like to get like
I like where you're going.
1 to 3. Like, I would like the pack to give me the odds, right?
Yeah.
1 to 3 rares, 4 to 6 uncommon cards, and the rest common or something like that.
I think that
would be. I think that would be cool.
because
That would be a change I'd like to see. I think you make the packs. The other thing I'd like to see changed is I would like to see the booster packs get cheaper and pull out all the hyperspace cards from them.
Just no hyperspace in regular boosters?
No hyperspace in regular boosters. If you want those hyperspace cards, this is how you get this game to really make. If you want to make money, I mean, I'm thinking this is a retailer, to be honest. You want hyperspace cards?
Not at all.
If you want hyperspace cards, go buy my $25 packs.
Oh no, it would tank the game to not have that stuff available.
Yeah, but I would like to see the prestige cards, the prestige packs, be nothing but hyperspace, pure hyperspace, all the way through. You're buying 16 cards, you're getting 16 hyperspace.
Oh, not 16. That's too many.
Well, how many cards is in those packs?
They didn't aren't they?
They're
like
16,
12.
right?
I'm pretty sure. No, it's more than 12. I thought
it's 16.
But it's too many.
Remember.
I mean, that's what I'd like to see. If you're gonna change the packs, like that would get me excited. I don't know what they're gonna do. I didn't even know this was like a thing you could do.
It is 16. Just checked.
That's too many.
Same as the regular pack.
All right. So now you've heard from us.
So for starters, I like where you're going, and I hadn't thought about it until you said it, but I like the idea of dropping. So I'm gonna say I like combining part of Trey's idea, which is something I agree. It's on my list, by the way, of ditching the regular foil slot at the back of the pack. Just ditch it completely. And so A, ditch that card, and B, as the other side of that, give me another uncommon. Uncommons are the basis of so many decks. So many competitive cards are in that uncommon slot. And when you're trying to sit down and build a deck, you need 3 overwhelming barrages. You need 3 Sintakaz, whatever. Uncommons.
Power of the dark side.
Power of the dark side's a common, I think. Is she? Or no, it's uncommon.
No, it's uncommon.
It's uncommon. Bottom line is, you very commonly you need play sets of these cards. Like Mace Windu out of set 5 is a solid uncommon. If you're going to play Hero Red Force, you're probably playing Mace. You need 3 of those, and so on. Make it just a little less painful to get play sets of cards that you need to play. Like, I don't think that's so terrible. It moves the needle on draft just a hair. But here's the other reason I like it. When you get, for starters, I don't like your idea about yanking regular hyperspace out of regular packs. I love that. I think that needs to stay. And
that's just a terrible retail idea I had.
Well,
and
fair enough.
I really hope nobody from FFG listens to this, because it's not.
But
money-wise, it's not a bad idea.
One of the reasons that I love the idea of give me an extra uncommon, okay, is because when you get a hyperspace common or a hyperspace uncommon in a regular booster pack, they're in a regular common or uncommon slot. But when you get a hyperspace rare or a hyperspace legendary, it takes up that last uncommon slot. You lose that slot.
Yep.
Now, sometimes that's amazing. I have pulled double Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight in a pack before. That feels amazing. Oh yeah. But what happens what happens when your legendary is hyperspace endless legions, right? And you're just like, "Yay, I gave up an uncommon slot for this." Right? So the idea of getting an extra uncommon in lieu of that foil card at the back, I like the idea.
So there's okay, I'll let you continue, but
okay, go.
Well, actually, let me jump in here. I'm gonna transplant something from later in our show notes to now. So you guys are talking about getting players more access to cards. You want more uncommons. You just want to have more. You're talking about getting more cards in people's hands.
Yeah, This
game is dangerously cheap. This game This game is teetering. This game is teetering on having people stop supporting it and retail because they can't make money on it. And as much as you want to play this game cheaply, this game, it's too cheap. What do you think? What do you think the most powerful uncommon in the game is right now? What do you think that most powerful uncommon is? If you had to name something, we talked about 2 of them already that I would choose.
I would overwhelming barrage, power of the dark side,
or Cinta. Okay. I honestly think it's one of those 3 probably in that range.
Okay, so
and Cassian Andor is like a really great uncommon.
Out of set 2, that's a good one. Yeah,
like a must play uncommon.
All right, so half of those are in the Spark of Rebellion, and Spark of Rebellion is it's rotating out, but it's also you can't buy them anymore. Like it's really hard to find sealed boxes of Spark of Rebellion. They're there, but you can go get them, but it's not easy to find. And it was What do you think it costs to buy one of those cards? To just go, just to play them. So you're talking about wanting to be easier to get a playset. You need 3 of these, so you need it to be easier to get a playset.
$150.
Yeah, $175 for both of them.
Yeah.
For both of those cards. And those are the chase uncommons of the set. Nobody makes money at those prices, especially when everybody sells through TCG Player, where TCG Player takes 15%. So if I sell something at $1.75 in TCG Player, I'm not making any money on the shipping. It's going to cost everything they charge for shipping. Most people are shipping for free, so they're taking these 70 some whatever cents of a stamp. Yeah, everything you buy, if you spend $5, you get free shipping on almost everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Player.
Well, we have different experiences there, but do continue.
But they're taking 75 cents out of the for the stamp. They're taking another 20 cents out for the
fee,
the envelope and whatever. They're taking, what is that, 17? They're taking 35 cents out of this for the fee. So now you're talking about one of the chase uncommons. I'm going to get, as if I sell it, I'm going to get $1.10 or so, maybe. No, that's 70 cents. I'm going to get like 80 cents out of one of the chase uncommons in the entire set, in the entire game. That's all I'm going to get. And that is not sustainable. So 80 cents. So if you were to bust a pack that you spent $5 on, the expected value of the cards in that pack, I mean, there's some expensive cards, but even the like for the new set, the rares are selling for like $1, $2, $3. Like if you get the chase rare out of a set, unless I think it's the one guy, who's the one guy that's the 3/2 that you can
Karis Nemec.
Dude. Neiman. Yeah,
Karis. He's worth a pack for. Like you can turn him in and get a pack, but he's the only one. So if you buy a pack and you bust that pack, and you the cards you get out of that pack are going to be worth less than what you paid for it, whatever the percentage of time that is, and that is bad. It's just, and I'm not necessarily talking about from your perspective as somebody that's buying the packs for $5. I'm talking about the retailers who buy the packs for like $2.70. It's hard for them to get $2.70 out of any pack of cards consistently out of these. And that is not good for the game because it's going to turn people away.
Well, there's a reason you don't find. So we had the same problem with Destiny, as you'll recall.
We talked about, to be honest though, we talked about this last set. We had the same conversation. I talked about, is the game viable because Twin Suns hasn't taken off, and a lot of the really cool cards aren't expensive, right? This is just kind of a carryover conversation to that, to be honest.
Twin Suns is not going to drive card prices right now. There aren't enough people out there that play it regularly. Now, FFG is trying to change that. We'll talk more about that later in the episode. But right now, you and I both know, how hard it is to get a TS game going in in a local area with lots of players, right? Yeah. TS is still kind of there's an absolutely a subset of players that have played it, adopted it, fallen in love with it, and are actively proselytizing it, right? Like, again, I keep using my buddy Mark Fairbrother out of the UK, who comes to Las Vegas, right, to the GC with 8 Twin Suns decks ready to go, and all he wants to do is play TS and sit down with anybody who'll play and just introduce them if they've never tried it. So there's absolutely people out there like that.
But one guy.
But they're the exception, okay? What's driving card prices in Unlimited right now remains the competitive player base, okay? Cards that are perceived as strong, that you have to have play sets of, and the easy chase legendary out of this last set is Queen Amidala right now. That's easily the most expensive, just regular plain old legendary. I'm like 98% positive. You know, last set it was Vader and Anakin, probably more Anakin than Vader last set, right?
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. So, but once if you're going to play competitively, the expectation is, and especially going to use those cards, you got to have those cards. Like, you got to have them. So that's where the prices come from. Casual TS players aren't going to drive singles prices, like, ever.
And there's so many people selling cards. The barrier to being a card dealer is so low that it is just a race to the bottom.
Yeah, it's non-existent now. TCG Player and other sites like that, even eBay, right, over the years has allowed singles and box sales at just, whatever price you want to sell it on. So, I agree. I hear what you're saying, Trey, but I think it's one of the things that I'm hoping, right, is that whatever changes they announce help alleviate some of this pain. There are retailers, I've read stories of retailers that are already dropping their support for the game because it costs more for them to let products sit on their shelf than they can barely move it, right? It's just not worth the investment of their time of letting it take up shelf space. FFG has kind of put themselves in this position, right? In my opinion, the last 3 sets in particular with Carbonite have really between the print run they did of Twilight, which was way too much for the set, the power level of the set, and then starting with JTL, they added Carbonite, which just makes all of the chase cards that people want, the hyperspaces, the hyperfoils, the showcases. I'm not buying regular packs now. I'm buying Carbonite packs. So to continue on my wish list, right now, I personally think Carbonite packs need to go. That's just my opinion. Now, I don't think they're going to do that, but I think Carbonite packs are a terrible idea right now because the people that want to collect and really want to spend money on this game, their chase cards are the hyperspace, hyperfoil, versions of those cards. But now we've added, it used to be the hyperspace hyperfoil stuff, but now we added prestige. Now we added prestige foils. Now we added serialized cards and all this kooky stuff. So now
it's too soon.
It's too much. Think about it.
What's too soon?
I
The player
agree.
base is such.
It's
if
not
they
big
could do
enough.
this in 5 years.
Yes.
But there's the price pressure of somebody who wants to buy the highest end version of something. Not that. Then all of the different things underneath, there just aren't enough people buying at all the different price points underneath.
Yeah.
And so it pushes the top one down, which pushes the one
which then
underneath
pushes
that
everything
down,
else down. Right.
And we've got Chasing Commons for $1.70.
Right. Go.
I have so I'll just use a card that I pulled as an example. I have a serialized Corvus, right? One of 288. The card's worth $30. Maybe if I could sell it because the card
if you
is
can find somebody to sell it.
You can find somebody who'll pay that. Good
right?
luck.
Anthony's snatching up right now. He's snatching up Darth Malik serialized cards for super cheap. By the way, super cheap. So I think you might be right when it comes to the prestige cards. As somebody who opens more regular packs than prestige packs, I would tell you that the hyperspace cards in the regular packs has dropped since they did prestige packs.
Really?
I opened a whole.
It doesn't feel that way to me,
box.
but I won't pretend
I
I've
used
counted.
to open a whole box of Spark, and I would have a nice little stack of hyperspace cards. I've opened 3 boxes for the last set, 2 boxes for this set, and the stack is half the size. So that's just maybe my personal experience, but I feel like they've pulled back a lot. I used to feel like I would get 2 or 3 in a pack, and now I get 1 or none or 1 or none. It's just not. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a change that I would like to see. Instead of the guaranteed foil, make it a guaranteed hyperspace, and then that is
that
one
sounds
guaranteed.
dope.
I like that idea.
Sometimes it's foil.
Sometimes it's
that sounds
rare.
dope.
Sometimes it's
Sometimes it's
legendary.
rare.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
That's awesome.
Here's the other thing to kind of continue the point I was making earlier, right? We're now at a point where a set releases. This is one of those weird games that doesn't just have one version of a chase card. Even on day one, when they printed Spark of Rebellion, there were 4 of them, right? You had regular, foil, hyperspace, and hyperfoil. So right out of the day. And now we're adding, with Carbonite. So when a set releases, there are 7 different versions of some of these legendaries. And then on top of that, some of those go on to have versions in OP or other places. You could have 8 or 9 promos. You could have 8 or 9 versions of the same card. It's excessive for where the player base is right now. It's too much. And I'm with Trey. I think personally, this is why I say I think Carbonite needs to go. I love the idea of it. I don't think they're going to get rid of it, but I think if they did, it would be better for the game and these kinds of secondary market prices.
I think if they made Carbonite packs much, much smaller, you could do it, but you have to drastically reduce the supply. So if a Carbonite pack was 6 cards or 8 cards or something, and then you got a prestige and you made those cards really good, then sure, I'll go with that. But the 16 cards, but yeah, it has to be something drastically different.
Here's the other. Go ahead, Ian.
The other problem is if you compare them to Magic's, right? Magic guarantees 5 or 6 rares. I've opened a prestige pack.
No.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 rares in every collector's edition pack that you buy. When you buy
collector's edition. Okay, so you buy basically the magic version of Carbonite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the magic version of Carbonite, right? I've opened up Carbonite packs where I've gotten 1 freaking rare in the whole pack because my prestige was uncommon and all of my hyperspace was uncommon and felt super ripped off. And then I've opened up packs that are like fire. I've got like a showcase and 3 legendaries and 2 rares.
Yeah.
The packs are too all over the place. I think you're right. I think Prestige has got to. I think you guys have convinced me that Prestige needs to go.
So the other
Not Prestige, Carbonite.
Not
Carbonite.
Prestige, but Carbonite packs.
Now,
I think they got to go.
that's my opinion. I don't think they're going to do that. They've already let that cat out of the bag, and I don't think it's going to change. However, here's my other radical suggestion. If you're going to keep Carbonite around, I like Trey's idea of shrinking the pack size. I also think you got to stop putting showcases in them. I think showcases should remain in regular booster packs only.
Oh, I like that.
Forever.
I like
I had not considered that, but I think that's an excellent idea.
that is a great idea.
I think if you're for me, this is as a player, this incentivizes me to buy regular packs. If I want the fancy upscaled cards, great, but it also gives me some reason and some excitement when I open a regular pack of whatever set, because still have a showcase in it, right? But more importantly, in my opinion, look at the price differences between showcases out of the first year of the game and the second year of the game. And I'm not even talking about like the leaders they're going to see play. I'm talking about the trash leaders like Holdo out of set 4, or like even a Rose Tico or Holdo. They're like a $20 card. Now go back and look at the trash leaders out of Shadows of the Galaxy.
Like
They're
Lando.
still like Lando. A showcase Lando is still worth more than that because he's harder to obtain. There's no Carbonite pack that you're going to have a higher percentage, a higher chance. And I personally think, I don't know this, but I personally think that with the Carbonite, they put more of those showcases in circulation. It's not like they just redistributed them. I think there's more of them in circulation, which lowers the price of showcases overall. So I think if you're going to keep Carbonites around, stop putting showcases in them. Personal opinion.
Yeah, Lando is $64 right now.
Exactly. So he's a leader that basically nobody plays. That I won't say he's garbage because there have been some limited decks that have had some success
He
with
is
him.
niche.
But he's incredibly niche, and he's still worth 3 times what Holdo or Rose Tico are worth out of set 4. And they're just as niche, if not worse. And the only difference is there's simply more of those in circulation because of Carbonite. So, anyways, that's my change. That's my ideas.
When they introduced Carbonite, I like the idea of Carbonite. And the reason that I like the idea of Carbonite, because it felt like they being FFG and Asmodee were reaching in and trying to pull some of that singles market money to them.
Yes.
So you sell all these cards, they go on the market, and then all of these people who buy the packs and open them and resell them, they make a lot of money off of essentially your game, which they have to be able to make money off of your game. Otherwise they're not going to do anything with it and your game's going to suffer.
Bingo.
But it felt like a reasonable thing to try and pull a little bit of that money back to FFG to make more money off of the game, to keep the game healthy and flowing. But it's been overdone. They've pulled too much money back. And so I think they need to correct the other way. And like I said, I don't think you're going to get rid of Carbonite, but because they have let that cat out of the bag. And if they were to say, we did that too soon, we're not doing Carbonite for the next 9 sets or whatever, next few sets.
Love it.
I would love it, except that the market in general would look at that and say, oh, this game is failing. And then it would
probably
become
right.
a self-perpetuating prophecy. And so then it might doom the game.
You're
just
probably
because
right.
Perception becomes reality. So I'm in the interest of keeping the game going and not putting that thought out there, I think they should just drastically shrink the packs and make them not crazy expensive, but much different value. So you still pay your $25 for a pack, you get 8 cards, and they're awesome. Here's
one more idea that I just had sitting here. If you're going to make serialized cards, radically reduce how many there are. Not in terms of,
I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Go.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead. So for me, it's a twofold thing, right? A, they're serializing too many cards out of the set. Look at how many prestige cards there are, and every one of them's got 250.
35, 40.
It's a crazy huge number. But then we're putting 250 of serialized of each one of those. Stop. If you're going to do that, if you're going to print that many variety, do 100 of each, right? Make them actual chase cards. Make them really hard to find. Not
right.
I mean,
they're still pretty hard to find. The average player's not going to get them, but I get what you're saying.
I just think you got to cut the entire print run down. Like, just don't print as much of it. It's that simple. Make it actually rare. I remember when JTL was releasing and they announced Carbonite, I kept expecting Carbonite to sell out very quickly. And then
We did right at first.
Yeah,
it
but
did
then
right
there,
at first.
but then there was more of it. It just like it
But then
didn't.
more of it showed up.
It's like I think the Carbonite print runs are too large, and I think they're sized the way they are because they have to generate the correct number of Carbonite packs to adequately distribute all of these serialized cards at the correct distribution point, whatever it is, one
You
per
get
case,
250 times 35,
two per case.
and
Yeah, like you work it out, and it's
many
some
per case,
crazy exactly. It's some crazy number of cases. Reduce how many copies of the serialized cards you're printing. Drop the Carbonite. Make it actual chase cards. Those
40%.
Those packs should come and be gone within the first 3 weeks of a set's release. Make them actually difficult to find. That I think would help a lot.
So I think it's interesting when and Ian's taking a break. If you guys heard him disappear. But we sit down, and when we go to talk about this stuff, one of the reasons that I enjoy doing this podcast so much is that we can sit down and say, we put our show note together and it says, we're going to talk about the pack changes. And then we have a little blurb where we type it up. And then I was like, this is what I want. I want to have no foils. And what was the other one? Oh, and then the rare thing.
No rare bases. Right.
Yeah. But as we've sat here and had this discussion, I feel like we've gotten into a much give and take of this discussion. None of us really had these ideas, but bouncing off of each other, we've gotten into a much more nuanced and interesting discussion than just get rid of foils and don't make rare bases go in the slot. Yeah.
Love it.
So that's what I do. And it's all organic. I had barely any of this was written down to think about.
No,
we're just as we chat about it.
No, we write down
Except
the topic.
Ian, who leaves us.
But now he's back.
Sorry. Pet emergency.
Cool. That's okay.
Everything
Pet
come out okay?
Yeah. We breaking the perimeter.
The alarms are going off. Another one's over the wall.
Yeah. Out the front door.
So, changing subjects now, because I feel like we beat that one to death for at least 25 minutes now. What are you guys playing? Like, what have you been up to? Have you gone back to the lab? The last time we talked, Trey, you were literally just borrowing decks from other people. You had built nothing since the new set. Have you built something now?
Well, I'm kind of borrowing decks from the internet.
That's okay.
I still have I revamped the C-3PO deck I have a lot of fun with that I got from Ian. I've changed it around some. I've kind of personalized it a little bit. I'm still having a really good time with that one. And I am playing on Carabas because I don't have the cards to build it all yet. There's the new Poe. I find him very fun and very interesting. Is it Poe? No, Cassian, the new Cassian.
I got to try that deck still. I want to play that. I want to play that leader.
Oh,
he
it's
looks
super
so cool.
Fun to put your opponent in a position where you have the initiative and
when
you flip Cassian
on the button. Oh,
when you are on the button. When you are on the button and then you put your opponent in a position where you flip him and then you play Senta and you attack and then they have to decide, do I claim or they may have 4 or 5 guys out, but your aggressiveness has already gotten them so close that they can't even claim. I mean, they have to claim because otherwise you're going to claim and they can't kill your guy. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's an interesting. It's not a position that I've been able to put people in any other deck about whether they're claiming or not. I mean, it a little bit, but not to the same extent that you do with Cassian. So I have a lot of fun playing that one online. I found I like. I want to say Asajj. It's not Asajj. Sly Moore I thought was interesting. And I thought, I want to build a Sly Moore deck. And so I went and looked on SWU of what Sly Moore decks exist. And I found one. It's a double yellow and it plays some really interesting cards. So I have a double yellow Sly Moore deck and it actually it takes advantage of both of her sides. So she makes tokens pretty quickly and pretty regularly. And then when she flips over, she just kind of kills things. And it uses cunning to great effect. Cunning doesn't get really played anymore competitively, but holy crap is cunning good. And so it taps a lot of things down with cunning and some other cards and it sneaks damage in. And I started winning games with it and I was like, I don't understand how I'm winning. I'm hitting for 1 and 2 and 3 at a time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the game is over and I won and I don't understand what I did. But it has a lot to do with the tempo of tapping things down. One of the plays that I played my Padme deck against it.
and Padme is usually a very fast deck. There's so much exhaust in it that it was
Mhm.
like every time it was basically every time I tried to attack, I was getting exhausted down. So like I couldn't hot shot out, I couldn't surprise strike, I couldn't get all that little extra damage that I needed to get in against that Sly deck. It was really interesting how it played. I really enjoyed playing against it and watching it, like the mechanics of it.
So one of the things that I think is cool is it plays now there are two of them. And the absolute awesome play that it wants to do with now there are two of them is it wants to play an official on turn 1. Usually little Skittery Grievous, who I hated. I'm still like,
you
I've
badmouth
played
the
him
hell
several
out of
times.
that card.
And people do it to me, but whatever. I like, sometimes he's really fun and really good. So I play a little Skittery Grievous. What was the other one? The deck that I've changed it out since then. What was the other one?
You hit me
there's
with
the
Bazine
official
on
that
turn
taps
1.
down. Bazine, but she's not an official.
She's not an official.
There are a couple of other officials at 2 that you can play that are not exciting. But you then, on 3, you play, now there are 2 of them, and the 5 drop that you play is I don't even remember the name, but he's a yellow guy. He's 3/5, and he makes 2 spies.
It's called Trade Federation Delegates. It's a common.
Those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good play.
Ripping that guy out on turn 2
Sly
is
loves that
awesome.
card. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
And
much
then
fun.
and then he hit me with a cunning immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
Sly
yeah,
loves those
he
guys.
does one thing, and then I'd be like, tap all your guys down, and this guy gets +4.
Yep. That's what Cunning does.
Yeah.
That's a great card. If you like Sly, the other thing that I'll suggest is the late night guys have a really good thread going over on their Discord. That's basically like a Sly green. That's like a swarm deck.
Okay.
Because there's a lot more
I'm on too
spy
many
generation
Discords.
stuff, I think. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll dig up a couple of screenshots and dump them in your inbox or something. But it's something along those lines. They've been having a lot of fun with it, so you can check that out too.
Cool.
I'm with you. I think Sly has more legs in regular play than I expected her to, and I'm glad for it because that is one of the most gorgeous showcases they have ever printed. That card is stunning.
She's an interesting leader. I'm enjoying playing her. I like both sides of her, and they're very different. One of them makes dudes, and one of them shoots dudes.
One of them murders people. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Ian, what have you been up to? What have you been cooking?
So I've got a Padme Tarkentown deck that I really like. It needs some tweaks though. I was playing Ray to try to pull it off the top early, and it's not really playing well. So I think I'm gonna sub in Poe instead. I had that conversation with Trey at DL.
Right.
I have that C3PO deck. I have a data vault that I've updated. That has a really great Gonk Droid engine built in.
So do you play Gonk you play Gonk and Resupply and Super Laser Tech?
No. So I've pulled out Resupply.
Okay.
Pulled out Resupply for Gonk Droid. And
I'm in. I don't like Resupply.
Yeah, I've pulled out Resupply for Gonk Droid. I still have the Super Laser Techs, but that's just because it's a ground unit.
Right.
If I can get it out and I can get one attack and I can get like... There's been a couple of games where before I even flip Boba, I've got Fet's Fire Spray and 2 IGs. Both IGs out on the board.
You could...
I am really loving the Gonk Droid. I just think that's such an amazing card.
I like it. You can go Gonk Droid in on turn 1 into Fet's Fire Spray as your turn 2 play, right? Like that feels really good.
There's the plot upgrade, Unveiled Might. Is that
correct?
What it is?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's like a 2/3.
Yep.
I believe.
The plot saber, some people call it. It costs 4.
Does it cost 3 or 4?
It costs 4.
4. I've been thinking about putting that in to try to keep the Gonk Droid alive longer.
I won't think I would do that. That feels excessive.
because as soon as you hit with the Gonk Droid once or twice, it's gone. It becomes almost an immediate target to anything they possibly can find. Because it can really drive it.
I don't think that's intra game. I think that's inter game. When you attack somebody one time with Gonk Droid, even in future games, they know that thing has to die immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. So it's not something that's sustainable.
Yeah. So I really want to find a way to keep him alive longer. I just love that card.
Okay.
And then I'm working on a Palpatine green deck.
I like it.
That is Palpatine red, new Palp red.
Okay.
So the new plot red. That is rotation ready. So it's only playing cards from these 3 sets. It's playing okay. it needs some of the like it needs like open fire and it needs stuff like that. But I'm gonna keep working on it. I think there's a good combo there,
Hmm.
so that I'm ready to go rotation wise.
So why is rotation ready a thing? Because when the rotation happens, you're going to have a whole new set of cards to put in there, so it's not going to do
So
anything.
so I'll be honest, like really it's getting comfortable with leaders, right? If you notice, like everything I listed is a rotation leader. So I want to be comfortable with playing all the leaders going forward. I'm playing
Sure.
Padme, I'm playing C3PO, I'm playing a Boba. Those are all rotation cards. Um, I want to be comfortable with those cards now. I don't want to have to like rely on open fire. I do better when I build a deck and I update the deck than when I try to build from scratch. So if I can learn to play Palp Red now, updating it will be easier for me. I'm not really like you, Trey, where I can sit down and build a deck from scratch. Super easy. Most of the times, the first time I build it, it's trash, and I got to go back and like half the cards didn't work, and I got to put new cards in.
That's
Um,
exactly how I build decks. I build with
okay, well,
garbage
good.
to start with. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
good.
special like this. We're the same. You just got to iterate a lot. You take
Yeah,
your first 10 times playing the deck are all on Carabas, so you can do it super fast and see, get it
yeah, that's what I
70% of the way
do.
there.
It takes me a long time though. Like that C3PO deck was like 3 months in the making. Like as soon as they put him out, I was working on C3PO. So I'm working on that, and then Twin Suns, I'm rebuilding from scratch.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
You only have
So
one deck though, right?
He has
yeah, I've literally only played the entire Twin Suns time. I've literally only played Grand Inquisitor
Krennic.
Krennic,
Yeah.
literally from set one, and I've upgraded. I'm gonna go to Grand Inquisitor Vader because I have the two showcases. I
Ooh,
decided I'm gonna use
fancy.
all of my old showcases that I can't
I
play
love it.
going forward. So I'm gonna
Beautiful.
do Grand Inquisitor Vader. So I'm working on that. And I think I'm gonna go green. I think I want more command cards than I want vigilant cards in there. And then I'm working on the other Twin Suns deck. I'm working on is Yoda Luke, so
Okay.
Master and Apprentice,
I
and
like
to
it.
really give it. And that one's going to be really themed around like Master and Apprentice
Which
cards.
Luke? Blue? Oh, the showcase Luke. Yeah.
Showcase Luke.
Showcase
Yeah.
That'll be
Blue
fun.
Luke. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think those would be fun, and showcases are always cool to have out. on the
Do it with
battlefield.
something other than green though. I mean, if you want to do it with green, you can just take my 80
No, I think
cards.
to be honest, to do the theme, I think I have to do yellow. I think I'm gonna
Oh,
do
neat.
yellow.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, blue, yellow. I'm thinking.
So I do have a bunch of Twin Sun stuff, but I want to hear Wes's premiere stuff first.
Well, I want to double back to Ian real quick. You said you were building Padme Tarkatown. Now you
Yeah.
played a lot of Quinlan Tarkatown back in the day.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast. Are they similar enough that it's comfortable moving between them? Is she radically different in some fact? Like, are you comfortable with the idea of the deck already because you're coming from all that
So-
Quinlan experience?
Yeah, it's interesting. There are plays where you can on turn one not play a unit and still successfully take out a unit and like draw a card and things like that. So it's definitely interesting. You definitely still have to play off initiative, right? You want to
Yeah, you want to be going second for sure.
You want to be going second. I've tried a few games where I thought I could lead, but you really can't lead with that deck. I don't think it's valid. At least a red version of her is not going to be valid without Target Town. Unless they put in more cards like Ray. Like I would need two more cards like Ray, where I draw it and it does damage. Because there are a lot of really good ways in the Padme deck of drawing cards or cycling your deck, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I love Yoda is because you can cycle through your deck.
Yep.
I love Padme because she's got a lot of cards where it's discard or draw 3, and all these things help you ping and help you get through the deck. So I don't know. I think she's got legs in Premiere, but I think my version of it doesn't.
Okay.
So I would think I think the analogy or equating of saying is Padme like Quinlan, I don't think those are, despite the fact that they do the same thing,
No.
the 50 cards that you put in the deck
Are different.
so drastically different.
Absolutely.
I think that even though the leader does the same thing, all the cards are going to be different because your engine to pull off what the leader's doing is different. So I think you would have to build the deck. So I think it would play, aside from that very first shoot somebody, Tarkentown somebody, you want to play the deck completely differently.
I guess that's kind of what I was asking, right? Was like, do you approach it with the same eye line of ping Tarkentown? Do you like,
Yeah.
direct
still, you
damage
wanna-
and all these kinds of things? Like, I was just curious, like how the kind of like compare contrast the ideas for me.
The victories are basically the same. Tarkentown early, right? Ping
Right.
Tarkentown early.
You fight
and
over
then
the
race the
board. You
base.
fight over the board
Yeah.
until you get to the flip turn, at which point you should pretty much own the board and
Yeah.
you can just run them over from there.
Her flip turn being on 6 is slow.
That's true. Quinlan came out of turn earlier.
very slow.
That's noteworthy. Okay.
And I'm finding a real struggle there.
She's more survivable. Isn't she like 2-8 or something? 3-8?
She's like a 3-8, yeah.
Okay, so she's harder to kill than Quinlan.
Harder
big
to
girl.
kill. Not much. I mean, Quinlan's 3-7.
Yeah, but she's got a bigger booty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say Quinlan's a better deck overall.
Okay.
But I think Padme in rotation, if she gets the right cards and they continue with the disclose, again, you need the mechanics. So if the mechanics are there going forward, Quinlan, the advantage is that his mechanic was a unit.
Right.
You
So you're
can't
building
not-
your board while you're doing
Yeah.
this.
You can't not print units going forward. So you could
Yeah.
not print disclose cards going forward or discard cards that help her engine run.
But
so
that's just it.
It's gonna depend on her being valuable in the meta or being a good deck overall. It's gonna depend on the rotation.
I think
and-
she'll
and
be
where
okay.
that's at.
I don't know if they're going to keep disclose around, but I think discard mechanics are going to stay in red just because, well, and or yellow. Like there's
Well,
been
you have to
there's
with
been
Padme, you have to discard from your own hand.
right.
It has to come from your hand.
Okay, so it's not a matter. You can't force discard out of your
No.
opponent, so that doesn't count.
It's
Okay.
not you
Okay.
discard and I get to do
Okay.
my mechanic. It's
Okay.
I have to discard or disclose.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Either way, there's enough
Yeah.
set. There's enough set stuffs to keep her started in this set.
For sure.
For me lately, I've gone back to a couple oldies that I like. I rebuilt my Vader Red 30 that I love playing. I've made a couple of tweaks. I really like Mirage Sintel in that deck, right? She's a 3/7 overwhelm. She's a 3/7 that comes onto the board at 5. She deals direct damage when she hits the board. Vader loves that. She's a villain card. Vader loves that. She gives anybody attacking a damaged unit overwhelm. That's amazing for that deck. So she's a really, really good 5-drop. I yanked all the third sisters I had and left her and put her in. I put in Cintas as well, thinking, wow, Vader plus Cinta, that feels like it should work. Like, let's try it. I'm gonna probably try it. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'll play it. I also rebuilt Phasma ECL. Again,
Nice.
I haven't seen that one yet. I saw Vader on
saw
Tuesday,
Vader.
but I didn't see
I've got
Phasma.
Phasma ECL. I have made a couple of changes to that one. I got rid of the Overpowers, which is a card that I still love, but it just never felt good in that deck. I think
Just a quick question, Wes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just a real quick question. Was there a lot of first order cards in this set? I don't
there's
remember.
only like 4. Basically the
Are they
FN.
good?
Okay, so it depends. Okay, the FN Trooper is a 5-cost 4/5 that when you play
Ooh,
him,
plot.
and he's a plot, and when you play him, he can add on experience. So if you're concerned about your Phasma getting dunked by Anakin, for example, being able to pull this guy out, either just play him out of your hand or plot him out of your row when you deploy Phasma, she can buff to a 5/7. Now she can flip Anakin the bird. That feels kind of good. So there's some corner cases where I think that playing that card out of your plot row on a flip turn is really good, and maybe you save the ECL for after she's on the board, right? Because you still want to, you move up that ECL on the 6 resource round. Now I could be ECLing the Captain Phasma unit. I could be ECLing Kylo Ren. I have some good options there.
She doesn't cost 1. You just tap her, right? You don't have to.
Correct. She just once you play a first order card, her unflip side as you just exhaust her, she deals damage. The other card that I really like, and it sounds ridiculous, but there's a 1-drop 2/2 in villain called this like Supreme Council Aid or something.
Yep.
That card is
exactly what it's called.
That card is really, really good in Phasma because it's cheap and it gives you another good target for Captain Phasma Green, the unit. Anytime I can pay 1 and put out a solid little unit that I can maybe buff with her is a good day. And it's more survivable than the other first order 1-drops, which were like a 2/1 TIE Fighter and then the 2/1 Trooper. So that card seems very unassuming. I think it'll be good in Phasma. I forget what else I put in there. Oh, I swapped in some Daring Raids. I realized I was getting kind of where I just needed to get over the hump. And I'm trying Fulminatrix, right? The 8-drop capital ship is the last big first order card in the set. And it comes out on 8, so it's quite pricey. but it's a 9/7. So again, it flips Anakin the bird. And it does deal damage to ground units when it comes onto the board. So maybe you can kill something and make your ground arena a little cleaner. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I think Phasma's gonna top out at 6 resources still. I think she's a little more mid range. But I'm gonna try the card for a while and see if I like it. I won't be surprised if I end up pulling it out. I played a couple games of Barris Blue this week, which is still a passion project that Barris. It's a Blue Force. The event package there, I'm realizing the events that I chose are kind of half of them are okay, and half of them are like, no, this is crap. Get rid of this. So I'm retooling the event package there to kind of help it out a little bit. I did play. Luna had Revan Blue this week, and I borrowed that, and it's a deck that I want to build, but I haven't pulled all the cards together for. I'm going to totally build one of those. That deck is just fun. It's got some really silly plays in it.
So for all of the grousing about the price of cards, it chooses every expensive card.
Oh, there's a lot.
And
yes,
plays. You can invest that. That is it.
Nihilus,
Better win a lot.
Scion, Malik, everything. It's packed full of legendaries. Right? It's just chock full of legendaries. Big ones. Yes.
It is expensive,
but it does. It does. It looks like fun.
There's a lot of big, great Sith units.
Oh, exactly.
And it
Right.
plays them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
There's a couple things on my radar. I still need to get JTL Han to the table, either in red or in yellow. I think the new plot stuff really makes that deck something cool, and I just haven't stopped to build it yet. I know that Sam has been working on his yellow version, so he's another cunning guy. Trey will appreciate that. And the other one that I still want to build that I keep looking at, thinking, man, this deck surely has to have some legs. Obi-Wan from Legends of the Force.
And stop calling it Shirley.
Whatever. Obi-Wan yellow, right? Like the ability to like start your game with a youngling Padawan and immediately buff it and start, have a 3/4 at the start of your second turn and start smacking people around. And I want to, like, those kinds of plays, those kinds of silly shenanigans in yellow. I want to give that a shot, right? They've printed some more really good yellow Force units, right? We've got Depa, we've got Qui-Gon. You can go back and still play Plo Koon for the moment, but you can, if you want to like rotation proof it, you can leave him off the list. I got to get that one built at some point to try it out, just because I want to. So I got some things. Some things in the idea.
I'm gonna tell you this. Barris is trash. Pure trash.
Maybe she is. I don't own the showcase, but it's not. It's one of the few showcases I really want because it's gorgeous.
Her leader ability is just, it's not good. You need the Force to play a discount. Of an event, and it's trash, bro. It's trash.
It might be, but I'm going to continue to play that until I've convinced myself. So watch this space. I'm going to predict now in 3 more episodes, I'll look at you at some point and go, hey, Ian, do you remember when you told me that Barris was crap? You know what, Ian? You're right, and I'm done with her. She's fired. So that day's coming. But until then...
I just don't think her ability is very good. I don't think her flip's great. I just think she's
Until then,
terrible.
I hold out... Until then, I hold out hope eternal, that maybe there's something there. We kind of are into the quiet part of the year, though, aren't we? Right? Like, I got there this week a little late at Dragon's Lair, and there were only like 7 people. It was really quiet.
Yeah, it's not been
a sleepy year. I feel like like this part of the year.
This part of the year
feels sleepy for not just SWU, like everything. I feel like everybody at work shut down right before Thanksgiving, and nobody's got, like, even more than it normally does.
It's the busiest month of the year for people to do stuff like in their personal lives. They got parties, they got family, they got travel, they got to get their own Christmas decorations up and their trees decorated and whatever else. It's going to be quiet for a while, I think. Usually is.
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. At least
Twilight?
for our local our local DL crew,
Yeah.
right? Let's talk about our local DL crew.
Yeah.
We're losing some players to Riftbound. Let's just call it what it is. We have a group.
That's the way it goes.
We've always had a group within a group. Mark and Richard and Fernando,
they play everything,
and a few other people. They play everything, right? But like, Richard's got a kid, and so like their time is limited. Like Anthony made this point to me, and he made a good point. Your time is limited, right?
Yep.
So if you've got to choose whether you're going to go play Riftbound or going to go play Star Wars for the week, it seems like a few of our people are going to play Riftbound.
Do you know why?
No, I have
Why?
no idea. I've
because
never played
because
Riftbound,
because
so.
starting tomorrow, down at the George R. Brown, right here in Houston, is the first ever Riftbound regional tournament with cash prizes.
Well, that's a big deal.
So
I've never heard of
I-
a SWU tournament with cash prizes.
Well, yeah, they
we
run
get
'em.
cards,
They
bro.
run 'em. But the bottom line is that, remember, we've talked about this before. Riot knows what they're doing, right? They're not
Yeah.
stupid. And this is their first, the game just came out at the end of October. The game's about 6 weeks. Their first
Well,
cash
it's been out in
prize.
America for 6 weeks. It's been out in China for most of the year.
Okay, my apologies. I didn't realize there was that big a gap. But
Yeah, they've already had these regional tournaments in China. You can go on
Okay.
YouTube before
Fair
before
enough.
this came out. The
So-
whole metagame was
so
solved.
maybe I'm crazy, but the bottom line is the first one in America, right? First one stateside
yeah,
is
yeah,
this
yeah.
weekend right here in Houston, right here in River City. And so I guarantee
cool.
you those guys are all prepping because they're going to
Oh,
go down
yeah,
there
yeah,
and try,
for sure.
try and win
They're-
some cash or
first of
promos or
all-
whatever they get.
They're
Well, I
all
hope
great
they
players,
lose.
like in SWU. So
I hope they
Trey.
lose, and then they come back to us.
They come crawling back. Oh, I'm so sorry we left. That's not going to happen.
that's
People
not
are-
gonna happen.
this is-
not if there's cash money.
Now, Ian, we've talked about this before, so pardon the question. This is
Well,
still kind of
but
your
hold on,
first big
let's-
TCG experience, right?
Yeah, so let's
Okay.
talk about the other problem too, right?
Hmm.
So you have a new card game that started,
Yeah.
and we have a set that. What do we think of the set overall? Average, above average?
I think it's pretty good.
I don't think it's a. I think it's okay. I think it's playing pretty good, but I don't think it's like a banger. I don't think this is like a set defining. You know, I mean, we talked about how cheap the card prices are,
So
I
right?
think
Like,
I think that this set has a level of nuance that doesn't appeal to a swath of players. I really like this set, but I really like nuanced cards that let me do different things, and they're not just straight power. And there are some people that not having straight power turns them off, and so they will go do something else.
you have, in my opinion, you have two problems with this set. One is the theme. The previous set was themed on space wizards, and almost everybody who loves Star Wars loves space wizards, right?
And the one before that,
Was spaceships. Spaceships.
Pew, pew.
Everybody loves spaceships, right? And so now here we are, we get a set that's about politics and intrigue.
Trade Federation delegates,
Trade Federation. How imagine the excitement
trade
when they open
route
it. I
taxation.
was gonna say, imagine the excitement when they open a card called Trade Route Taxation, right? So the theme of this set, in my opinion, dampens some of that enthusiasm. Not for me, because I love the political intrigue side. Like a show like Andor is right up my alley because it's full of this crap, right? And I love it. But not everybody's like that. So some of what you're seeing, I think, is a reaction to the theme, like, it's interesting, but whatever. Here's the other problem that I think. So far, in my opinion, I don't think this set has moved the needle on premier decks very much, has it? We haven't seen
Bingo.
any of the new leaders just come, bulldoze their way into the premier scene. Now, granted, we're just now getting into PQ season. Maybe there's something out there we haven't found yet. Wouldn't shock me. But up to this point, we haven't seen any of these leaders make a big, big impact and push something out that's already in the meta, or stand up and announce its presence. Like, oh, you love Han 2 Blue? Well, guess what? I am better. I am Sly Moore. Hear me roar, or whatever.
Yeah, nuance. It requires thought and playing. There's nothing
Yeah.
that just immediately popped its head in and went, I'm better than this particular class of deck.
Right.
so as somebody who's new to TCGs, again, I've been playing them for a whole whopping, will be 2 years when the 7th set comes out. Is this just holiday blues, or is it a combination of the worst storm Star Wars could ask for at this time period?
Two things can be true.
I
So
think
what
to-
happens if meta season, or PQ season, is kind of boring? What if it's all the old leaders that are about to rotate out? Does that make the next season more exciting, I hope?
I think it will. I think that's going to happen by default because the game rotation, and I said this to somebody else in a Discord in the last few weeks, rotation is going to do more to change this game than the release of the next set will. Because the cards you're used to playing and the ways you're used to thinking about the game since it release are all going to change, right? And we'll get more to this in a minute. But what happens if they don't reprint Resupply? What happens if they don't reprint Super Laser Technician? You have to completely rethink how you look at high cost cards, high cost leaders in green, as an example. So maybe they will, maybe they won't. We don't know yet. But either way, the old leaders going away, some of the old staples. Like I'm not going to miss all. We've talked about this before. I'm not going to miss the blue removal. I'm not going to miss overwhelming barrage. Those kinds of things. When those go, good riddance from my perspective. Right? Those cards are gross.
Sure, but it's more than just getting rid of the bad cards. It gets rid of the good cards,
I
which is
agree.
also healthy because it forces you to rethink. It forces you
Yes.
to stay agile and think more about the game rather than
Yep.
just relaxing into what you've known for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. But to Ian's point, to Trey's point, like you guys, PQ season's about to start. So me saying right now it doesn't feel like the needle has moved very much on Premiere. I could be completely wrong. There might be people out there who have been cooking something and we're about to see Cassian come in and break all the doors on, break the wall down like the Kool-Aid man. I don't know. But up to this point, I think one of the things you're seeing is that, as Trey's pointing out, nothing is glaringly obviously better. It's taking people time to absorb and find those things. And so some folks, I admit I am in this camp, would rather let other people do that exploration and then come in behind them and go, that's interesting, right? I invest my creative energy somewhere else.
I have so many comments about everything that you've said. So I'm going to back up and I'm going to make multiple disparate comments here. So one, even if, say, Cassian comes in and takes everything by storm, it's the same deck. It's just Sabine. I mean, there might be a couple of different cards, a couple of
theoretically.
different cards. It's just Sabine, and with a different card in front of it. If you had printed this Cassian first and printed Sabine now, everything would have played out basically the same thing, same way. So it's not. That may be kind of a limitation of the game.
I'm just picking a leader. It doesn't matter. Pick a leader. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just saying anything that comes in, like they're not. It's difficult to find new ways to play the game because it's just the same deck, and so that I get back to the point of rotation. I think rotation is going to be huge. Rotation is going to change out the what you put in your 50 cards, and that's going to have a lot more impact than the card that you flip once a game and then attack once and then it dies, and so that's going to be a lot different. The other thing you were talking about. Go ahead.
That's why I think it's important to start building a rotation deck now. Get used to not playing with those cards, and if you can beat decks that are using some of those better cards that they're not going to have in the future, and you know ways to work around it, it's going to really help you, I think, in the long run. So I think that's why it's important to start building one.
Just do it then. But either way. So the other thing, there are way too many content creators. You were talking about letting other people do the work, which that's always been a thing since the mid 90s. The people were putting decks online.
Yep.
But I feel like every time I try to sit down and I'm like, ooh, I want to try and see can I build something with this dude? Let me go see if somebody's built it. Woo or somebody or one of those guys has put out some deck that is like 80% of the way there to whatever the deck I was going to go explore is. And they put out so many decks that it's all done. I don't feel compelled to sit down and try to build anything new because they just generate so much content. And I don't know that there's a solution to that. And maybe I just play what somebody does, what somebody else comes up with. But it's really freaking annoying to have a game that I love to play and I want to like sit down and figure out a deck, and that deck already exists. Woo built it. Well, I don't remember the other guy's name, but somebody built it.
It's fair, right? Because I remember the days of one of my favorite Destiny decks towards the end, and I've mentioned this before, was the old the Cassian and Jin. You could pair them together, and they had this great mechanic. They triggered off each other you could discard their hand, and all this kind of stuff. It was a great mechanic. I loved that deck, but I built that, right? Like I loved those guys, and I refined that one down to where I knew what I wanted to do out of it, and so on and so forth.
I blame Patreon. Who needs to get a damn job to pay his bills instead of having Patreon? Patrons allow him to just do this crap all day long and come up with everything for everybody.
But here's the thing: it's not just him, as you so rightly pointed out. There's a lot of us.
It's all Patreon.
A lot of people don't have Patreon. He has one. The KTOD guys have one. I think Rebel Resource has one. Excuse me, but there's quite a few content creators who just do it for whatever revenue they can get out of YouTube. Guys like Veiled Shot, right?
Veiled Shot, that's one of the other ones.
He has a Patreon too, actually. Now that I think about it,
Patreon.
I had just forgotten.
Patreon is a scourge on humanity. You don't need to be able to make money doing this stuff. See?
I have a
You
Patreon.
have a regular job, though.
Speaking of that, on the button Patreon coming to you soon.
No. We ain't doing that. I have one.
No. I'm
wow.
grandstanding. Patreon's fine, but I actually do think there is something to like It's funny because there's nothing that can be done about it, and I'm not
No,
really that upset about it.
no.
But when you have somebody that just gets paid to sit down and come up with decks, it kind of takes away the joy of being able to go discover something.
Reasonable. Reasonable. I don't disagree with you. And there are times that I look at, like, I'll give you an example, okay? You guys know I'm a Phasma enjoyer. I've been playing Phasma for a while now. This past, like in the last week, I think I saw a notification. Veiled Shot had gone on YouTube, and we'd gone back and looked at Phasma again, and I was like, okay, I'm curious. What is he doing? I know what I like to do with Phasma. What's he doing? I went over and took a look at his Phasma list, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I would play it this way, right? So I mean, sometimes I like to look and see what other people are doing with leaders that I already enjoy, and then I go, well, that's an idea I hadn't thought of, or no, I wouldn't like that. So I mean, it can go either way. So,
But then you sit down across from somebody and you whip out Phasma, and they go, "Oh yeah, this is that Veiled Shot deck that he put out," and you're like, "No, damn it, I built this."
I can allow. Look, the beauty of that is if my opponent wants to think they know what I'm playing, that's fine. You can go right ahead and think you know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Not my problem. Let's play. Well, guys, last topic of the night, right? And we kind of have saved a little bit of the best for last because one of the things we got out of the in-flight report was a complete roadmap for 2026 when it comes to Star Wars Unlimited, right? At Galactics, and Ian, you and I were there when they made this announcement. They told us the names of the next 3 sets, so we knew what March, July, and November were going to look like. But then rumors started circulating not terribly long ago. I don't remember if there was an official announcement or a rumor. I think it might have been. I think at Essen. They announced it at Essen Spiel that there were going to be Twin Suns pre-constructed decks. So we heard that in October. And then finally at the in-flight report in November, they mentioned specifically those are going to be coming in spring 2026. So my assumption is they're going to come along in like May. They'll try and split the difference between set 7 and set 8 and put them out right in May.
May the 4th. I bet they come out May the 4th.
Ooh, now that would be clever, wouldn't it? That would be clever. Now, here's the other thing. They also told us exactly what they're going to be what 4 leader pairings those are all going to be. So have you guys seen this?
I haven't heard any of this.
Okay. All right. So now each of these decks has a name. I don't know the names, but I remember the leader pairings. There were two villain leader pairings, of course. One of them was Maul and Savage Opress.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the hero pairings. It was Anakin and Padme. And Ahsoka and Rex.
Do we have a Savage leader?
We do not. This will be a first. This will be a first for the game.
Oh, so this is like unique cards.
These are all Twin Suns only leaders, as I understand it. Like these cards will have decks. These decks will have cards. Excuse me.
But they're not Premier
legal.
Legal.
They're designed for Twin Suns player. They're not Premier Legal, as I understand it. If I believe so. But it's Ahsoka and Rex are one, and then Padme and Anakin are the other. What's the other villain? Oh, Dooku and Asajj. So you have all Clone Wars era stuff. You have 2 villain pairings and 2 hero pairings. And I'm looking forward to that because, like you guys, I think that'll be a really, really good way for people to just grab a deck and sit down and just barrel into Twin Suns with the best of them.
If they're as good as their current Spotlight decks, they'll be really fun to play.
I agree.
Really fun to play.
I feel like they've nailed that.
I feel like it's too late. I feel like they should have done this a couple of sets ago. Like maybe when it went to 80, what did we put it at 80 cards after the third set? Like maybe 1 or 2 at the third set, especially because they would have fit in perfect with Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
They're this theme, so maybe it's a holdover from that. Maybe.
Not sure. The other thing that they announced is there's going to be another standalone product in the fall, but we know basically nothing about it. They called it like a mini expansion or another intro to play, like the Battle to Hoth box, the intro battle box.
Like another version of that.
Something we really don't know. They just called it. They gave it a name. It's called Icons. It's supposed to be about all the iconic characters in Star Wars. I'm like, okay, but you have literally told us almost nothing about it. So we know it's out there and we know it's sort of coming in the fall, but we don't really know much. So I don't know. We'll see what they do with it.
Cool.
And then they
I'm
started
looking forward to playing more Twin Suns.
Same. And then 6 weeks ago, I wouldn't have said that. And Trey's like, "We've got you now. I've got you, my pretty." And then, of course, they started spoiling cards for Lawless Time as well. We got a first look at the Spotlight leaders, which were, I'm going to get this. Oh, it's Leia and Jabba. from Return of the Jedi. So like Leia and like undercover Leia, like as a bounty hunter.
Boosh.
Boosh.
That's called Boushh. Boosh.
H. And then they started spoiling some of the new stuff, and we're finally starting to see some really weird double and triple aspect pairings, right?
Triple
Yeah,
aspect
multicolored gold
cards.
cards.
Yeah.
Yes, triple aspect. About time.
I'm going to be really curious to see how far down that rabbit hole they go, because the danger in doing that, it sounds great for Premiere, but dealing with it in
Oh, it's
draft.
gonna be trash and trash.
Well, you say that, but the other thing that they told us we learned yesterday as a part of the stream, the common bases are all identical. They all have the exact same game text. So they're all 27 health.
So it's like a Force one.
Yes, very similar. So they're 27 health, and they have all of them have an epic action. I'm pretty sure, is it just a regular action? Epic action. I got to look now. But basically, it's either once per game or once per turn. This is going to drive me crazy. I got to go look now. It's an epic action.
Once per game.
Epic
It's an
action.
epic action.
Once per game. You can play a card out of your hand and ignore any non-hero or villain aspect. So you could ignore the blue, green, red, or yellow portion, one of the aspects of those colors on the card, and play the card once per game. Interesting. So that's going to open up some really weird possibilities.
That makes it way easier to play like a specific card like that in draft.
Exactly.
Way easier.
Exactly.
That makes me think they're going kind of heavy in it then.
I don't know.
I wonder what about this makes it 1 point more powerful than getting the Force when you attack with the Force unit.
I got nothing.
So read the game text again. What's it say?
I'll just read it. I'll read it word for word. Epic action. Play a card from your hand, ignoring one of its vigilance, command, aggression, or cunning aspect penalties. All of the common bases have that exact same text on them.
Okay.
So you could use it to play a double. That's pretty cool.
You can exactly right. You
So
can use it to play double. If you want to play cunning for one yellow, you could do that once per game, as an example.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I like that. That sounds fun.
It's going to be interesting.
Sounds fun.
Um,
Can somebody explain? I only saw it real briefly. How does the credit token work? What the hell is that?
In true FFG style, Ian, we have created yet another thing for us to keep track of on the board. A new token, a new card to keep
More
around.
tokens.
More
All right.
token cards.
More tokens. Oh, yeah.
So the credit token, as they call it, is I think it's
a consumable resource.
It's like a token upgrade. How do they phrase this?
It's a card.
Yeah, but it's got to have a card type on it. I don't think you attach it to a unit.
No, it just sits in your resource row, and it's a consumable resource that you can use once. Like you use it to as a resource to pay a resource cost, and then it goes away.
Yeah. So it literally says the card type is credit token, and it says while paying resources, you may defeat this token. If you do, pay one less.
Okay.
So the
new way to ramp. Awesome.
Exactly. The curiosity I have is, does this supplement ramp? Does it provide ramp to colors that don't already have it? Or are we replacing ramp cards, like many of the ramp staples that we have in green, with something like this? I don't know. It's too early to know. Too early to call.
So interestingly, I find this to be an interesting
fun.
way to ramp, because in our game, our game cares so much about resources on the board for that flip turn.
Yes, that's a big deal.
This doesn't trigger a flip turn the same way Disco DJ Death Star does.
Yep.
So I think that's really cool. And I know a lot of this is in yellow, and thematically it's getting money to spend. So I like that.
Well, that's just it. The cards that we've seen so far put this in yellow, right? The new Jabba leader in one of the events that's, I think, in the starter deck with him or something. But what other colors are going to get it? Are all colors going to get access to these the cards that make these things, like they do with disclose mechanics? I don't know, right?
Cheating resources.
Too early.
Cheating resources has always been so powerful in this game. So I mean, if it works, it'll be a great mechanic. Sounds fun.
I'm gonna be curious to see how that shakes out. So yeah, that's
cool.
Gonna,
it's just
that's gonna be fun.
Like a potion.
Yeah, kind of. The other two things I want to hit real briefly. One is just for me, right? So if you guys are listening to this episode on release day, Friday night, this will be the 5th of December, today that the episode comes out. I'm going to be on Late Night Gaming, hanging out with those guys on stream, playing webcam games. This will be a first for me. I've never done this before. But they talk like it's super easy. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll figure it out as we go. So
You playing SWU or are you playing just board
no,
games?
playing SWU. No, playing SWU. Playing SWU. But literally,
Nice.
like, I'll share like my board view with them, and they'll share theirs with me, and then they combine everything and like live stream it out like you're watching a game. The people watching the stream will see both boards simultaneously, like we were sitting
Do
across
you
from
watch
each other.
the stream like this?
I don't have any. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, man. I got to figure it all out. I'll figure it all out the hard way. I got nothing.
That's cool. Will that be live?
Yeah, it'll be live tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific, over on the Late Night Gaming channel on YouTube. I'll put a link in the show notes, because even that link will be good if you want to go back and watch it. Like, even after we film it, it'll be around. I don't know yet.
From Late Night.
It might be.
Okay.
It might be. I think it might be Loopy. It might be somebody else. I literally have
Himself.
no idea. No idea.
Playing with himself.
The other thing, and I added this to the show notes late because I had forgotten I wanted to talk about it. Our boys over at KTOD, Mike Gem, made a video recently, I think about a week ago now, where he is basically convinced, he has heard from sources, right, that once Set 7 comes out, rotation goes in and everything, that the Eternal format is going to be supported as a competitive format at PQs, possibly sectors, regionals, all these kinds of things. I wanted to see.
Why wouldn't it?
It's a good question. Why wouldn't you? I think for me, I hadn't anticipated it because this was something that they never did in Destiny, ever. This was not a thing. You could play in Destiny. You could play the Eternal format, but there was no official support for it. None.
Do you think it would be like they do the one that we did in Dallas?
Limited?
Do you think it would be? Yeah, well, they do like one or two limiteds around the area.
I see what you're saying. Do you think they'll add a couple Eternal ones on the schedule? I think they will. I think they'll try it and see what happens. I wanted to hear what you guys thought about that. Does the Eternal format even interest you? Are you curious?
No. My God, 6 sets is enough. I can't do more. You keep adding on. I freaking can't. I'm struggling with 6 sets. There's no freaking way. No, absolutely not. Twin Suns Premiere. That's all I got in me.
Okay, reasonable. Trey?
I think it would be more interesting as a format if they changed it up some. So change up the deck building requirements. Make them 60 card decks with a maximum of 2.
Okay.
Play set is 2.
Okay.
Or singleton or something like that. Like,
okay.
Don't just make it.
Maybe they will.
Exactly what Premiere is.
We don't know. Maybe they will.
But
Does the ban list still exist? Because
we don't know.
Play Triple Dark Raid. If I can play Triple Dark Raid, I'm in. I just love that.
So it is like the possibility exists that they'll say, look, for Eternal, everything's open. We don't care. Free for all, have fun. Could be a thing.
TDR, I'm in.
They'll probably start that way. They'll start that way and then they'll run the ban list.
I mean,
the same way they did before.
That's how they did it for Trilogy. They opened up Trilogy originally that way. And those of us that kind of dipped our toes in were like, yeah, you really shouldn't do that. And they came around and were like, yeah, we agree with you. This is not a good idea. It's like, no, it's really not. So okay. All right. I'm curious. I don't know that I'm ready to jump into Eternal. I think like Ian, my brain. So this is where I'm of two minds, right? The caster side of me looks at what I've built in my setup and everything and how it works and goes, I'm ready. Everything's already in there. I can easily cover any Eternal event that I want to cover, no problem. The player side of me is like, that's a whole other meta to learn. I don't know that I want to put that much time and effort into it. That's a lot of work.
I think if I did play it, it would just be like a fun event.
I could totally see me just trying.
Even if I went to like a PQ, it'd just be a deck I put together, and I want to play cards for the day.
Yeah,
just a low stakes event. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it can be make it fun by having it low stakes. Have it be side events at big events. Have Eternal queues. Thing.
And that's what I always figured they would do with Eternal. I was when Mike came out and was like, "Oh, there's going to be like literally competitive events in this format." I remember thinking that shocks the crap out of me. Right? I'm really surprised to hear that, but
not yet. We're not big enough yet.
Again,
don't dilute us that much.
You and I agree on that.
I would be.
To me, that's why I'm concerned about it a little bit.
It would be shocking if they became the majority. Like if they
Mm-mm.
were like all of the PQs,
Oh,
that
that'll
would be
never
very
happen.
strange. But if they were like one or two, like I don't know how many of the premier ones they do. They do like 6 or 7, right? Like they
Mm.
don't do that many.
I think they started with 5 on each continent, and I don't know how many we have this time around. I'd have to go look at the list again, but it's not a
It
crazy
doesn't feel
long
like
list.
it's not a crazy long list, so you could throw in a couple more. I'm sure the places that host these events, at least most of them, are interested in having, as many as they can because they seem to be pretty big turnouts, especially the PQs. So like I haven't gone to a PQ that seemed less than like 70, 80, 100 people, somewhere in there. So, I mean, it'd be interesting. Be fun.
Okay, a quick
Yeah,
count.
I definitely wouldn't like get into the meta of that. That would just be, I mean, that's
Agreed.
gonna be so many. The leaders alone is too many.
A quick count. So I know for a fact that in set 5, when they introduced limited PQs, there were 5 in America, 5 in North America, and 5 in Europe. Just a quick count, and I may be off 1 or 2 here, but going down the list of PQs that are posted as limited events for set 6, there are 18 now in North America. Out of, I don't know, 70 they announced. I think it was supposed to be, there were supposed to be 70, I think. 70 PQs. I don't know the total number. So
That's a lot of PQs.
yeah, in North America, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I'll run some numbers and I'm curious. I'll look at it later. It's not important right now. So
And there's a lot of people at me like they're buying a lot of cards.
indeed, indeed. Oh, I see Trey
We
has
need a-
added a note
Yeah. So
in like 38-point font.
Trey, you need to get me some of your tokens. I really am interested in buying the platypus duck.
The spy token.
Okay.
Trey's spy tokens, guys. Look,
Yeah,
Trey's spy tokens are amazing.
That was so amazing.
The
I need to
spy
buy
versus
at
spy
least
ones
4
are-
or 5 of those.
Chef's choice.
The platypus duck, I used to watch that show with my nephew all the time, and it just reminds me of him every time I saw it. It just
There you
cracked me
go.
up every freaking time. I was like, "That's the greatest thing ever!" Like,
Trey, I think we kind of briefly talked about it last time, but pimp your tokens again. And this time I'll actually put a link to your store in the show notes and folks can go look at them themselves.
Okay.
yeah,
So I have a sordid history of playing games and have to, I don't know if we talked about on this. I have to turn every hobby into making money. So
Yes.
yeah.
we did, when we played Destiny, we got to Destiny went away. We decided we were going to keep it going and somebody needed to make physical cards. So I learned how to make, I have all the equipment to make physical cards. So I make like real legit, very high quality cards. But when we got to starting to play this, I saw some people making like interesting versions of leaders and whatnot. So now I have started to figure out how to, or designing my own leaders. Sometimes I use art I find online. Sometimes I commission art. A couple times I've used AI art. I used every tool at my disposal to make these cards.
Boo.
Screw you. It's a tool. It is a tool, and you shouldn't be taking away the ability of other people to create. I use all the tools. Even when I use AI, I still put it all together in Photoshop and do a bunch of stuff in Photoshop. Anyway, but I use it all. I've paid money anyway, I make tokens. I have tokens that are on one side a TIE fighter, on one side an X-Wing. I have the battle droid and the clone trooper tokens, which is it's actually a triptych. So when you order the token, on the front side is the battle droid and on the back side is the clone trooper, but it's a pack of 3. And so when you line up like all 3 of them side by side, it's one picture that has 3 different clone troopers in it. And then you flip that over and it's one picture that has 3 different battle droids in it. And they're actually part of the same scene. So like the camera's directly in between the 2 of them shooting at each other. And so that was really fun to make. I commissioned that art. I've got some spy tokens that on one side is a piece of art I commissioned, whether it's Imperial or Rebel. It's 2 pictures that go together, and then on the back side is something silly, like one of them is spy versus spy, another one is one of them is Perry the Platypus, and then Scarlett Johansson, whatever her character name is, Black Widow. So anyway, I make all these tokens, and then I do a lot of leaders that I put together and I sell them. And so all the art is there available. If you want to print these yourself, you're welcome to download it off of, I usually will post a lot of this on the Facebook group so that people have the art. If you want to buy want me to print you up one and send you a copy of it, I sell it on Etsy. And so it is just, my shop is Kingwood Hobbies, and I search for Etsy on Etsy for Kingwood Hobbies, and I have all of them there. I want to say I have maybe like 20 different leaders, 25 different leaders at this point. I have a lot of leaders.
Okay.
So
Send me.
That's what I do.
After the show, send me a link. I'll make sure and put it in the show notes. Because again, I am not a tremendous fan of the leaders, but I love the spy tokens. Those are just, and honestly, the X-Wing and TIE Fighter tokens you did were also really, really good.
Yeah,
I like those.
too.
I like those as well. Cool.
So
All right, guys.
Now that I said, hold on, I got one more. So
okay.
we were talking about credit tokens earlier. Like that's what I was doing right before we did this. I'm working on my credit tokens. I'm actually going to have card versions of them, and I'm going to have 3D printed versions of them if you want something a little meatier.
Ooh,
So
fancy.
it'll be exciting.
Okay. That'll be good. Keep an eye on that. When they're ready to go, you should spoil them here so everybody can see what you're doing.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
I love it.
All right, guys, we have talked forever. It's been a good episode, but let's wrap it up. Let everybody go enjoy the rest of their week, evening, day, whatever it is.
Holidays, man.
Indeed.
Holiday time.
We'll be back for at least one more episode before Christmas, guys. As always, appreciate you being here. Thanks for the likes, follows, subscriptions, whatever. Again, as always, comment. I'd love to hear more of y'all's thoughts about all the stuff we talked about. The PAX in particular. Like that's going to be a big announcement next week. What do y'all think about it's going to, like, what would you do if it was your decision? I'd love to have more conversations about that.
I think when they release the pack information, we have to have an emergency special council.
Well, maybe we will. It wouldn't be the first time. Trey and I did one of those the day they banned Django back in April. So we'll see if they do. We'll see if it's a big deal. All right, let's hang it up here, guys. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Peace. We'll see you again one last time in 2025. See you soon.